Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I think we all know that the NFL is a league where surprises are around every corner. But what's currently brewing in the AFC North has the potential to reshape the division in a way we haven't seen in quite some time. Reports from sources close to the league are suggesting that the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that's been struggling a bit this season, especially on defense where they're giving up close to 28 points per game, are possibly planning a blockbuster trade that could send shockwaves across the NFL landscape. And the centerpiece of this trade, none other than A.J. Brown, who's been a key player for Philly but might be heading north, straight to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, you heard that right. The buzz is that the Eagles are considering trading Brown in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-round pick in 2025 from the Steelers. Now, this isn't just a typical trade rumor. It's a move that could dramatically alter the course for both teams involved, and most importantly, shake up the entire AFC North. The Eagles, dealing with a rebuilding phase and trying to free up cap space, around $18 million, see this as an opportunity to reset and gather assets for the future. Meanwhile, the Steelers, sitting at 4-2 and looking to bolster their offensive firepower, might just find in Brown the missing piece to elevate their attack to a whole new level. Let's talk about A.J. Brown because this guy is a physical freak. Standing at 6'1" and weighing 226 pounds, he's built like a tank. His PFF grade for his career is an impressive 89.4, which speaks volumes about his consistency and talent. In 2025, up until September 15th, he's registered 22 receptions for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging 14.2 yards per catch. That's quite solid, especially considering the fact that he's been limited at times by injuries. He suffered a thigh injury in Week 3, which limited him to 68% of the snaps, but he bounced back strong in Week 5 with 118 yards. His stats aren't just numbers. They represent a player who, when healthy, is a nightmare for defenses. His ability to win contested catches. His catch rate in contested situations is over 91%, and his big play ability with 20-plus yard receptions make him one of the most dangerous receivers in the league. He's also averaging 6.1 yards after the catch, which shows he's not just a downfield threat, but also someone who can make plays after securing the ball. Now, if he joins the Steelers, imagine how that would transform their offense. Kenny Pickett, the young quarterback, would suddenly have a true game-changer to throw to. Brown's speed, the 40-yard dash, coupled with his route running, especially on slant routes, could lift the Steelers' passing game by at least 15%. His presence would open up space for other weapons like George Pickens and give Pittsburgh a true deep threat that defenses would have to respect. And we're talking about a guy who can elevate the quarterback's QBR by over 12% when targeted in the right situations, especially on those deep routes. His advanced stats show he's a top 5 receiver in contested catches and big plays, making him a perfect fit for the Steelers' ambitious offensive plans. Plus, his chemistry with a quarterback like Rodgers, who's been rumored to be a possible target for the Steelers in future seasons, could be a match made in heaven. But let's step back a little and analyze the bigger picture. The Eagles, under head coach Nick Sirianni, are in a bit of a tight spot. Their offensive line has been struggling. They're allowing about 3-4 sacks per game, and Jalen Hurts, their QB, has seen his QBR dip to 78.2 this season. They need to protect Hurts better and give him more weapons, especially with Devonta Smith being a key target who needs to be extended soon. Philly's cap situation is also tight, with a $100 million contract on Brown that weighs $25 million in 2026. Moving Brown now could free up around $20 million in cap space, which would give them the flexibility to bolster their roster via draft picks, especially for their defensive front, like adding edge rushers. The team's window for competing for a Super Bowl seems to be narrowing, especially with their odds dropping from +12.0 to around +8.0 to win it all, as injuries and inconsistent play have taken a toll. The trade then becomes a strategic move, an attempt to rebuild and retool for future success. For the Steelers, this potential trade could be nothing short of a game-changer. Adding A.J. Brown alongside DK Metcalf would give Pittsburgh one of the most dynamic duos in the league. The impact on their offense would be immediate. Their aerial attack could jump from averaging around 218 yards per game to over 280 yards, with Brown stretching defenses deep and forcing safeties to stay honest. Rodgers, who's been linked to the Steelers in recent rumors, would have a true deep threat to work with, significantly boosting his efficiency and QBR, which is projected to be around 92. One for 2025. This kind of upgrade would make the Steelers' offense much harder to defend, especially when combined with their established running game led by Najee Harris, who's been averaging 4.2 yards per carry. The addition of a receiver like Brown also eases the pressure on Harris, opening up play-action opportunities that can lead to big chunk plays and keep defenses on their heels. Defensively, the Steelers have been solid, but giving up around 21 points per game. They need to extend their time of possession and keep opponents' offenses off the field. The potential addition of Brown and Metcalf could help them control the game better by increasing their offensive efficiency and scoring potential. Think about how Brown's ability to gain extra yards after the catch. His YAC average is around 6. One can turn short passes into big gains, further elevating the Steelers' offense. His ability to run precise routes and make contested catches would also help the Steelers' QB in tight situations, especially on third downs and in the red zone. Looking ahead to the postseason, the Steelers' chances of making a deep run would improve dramatically with such a duo. Currently, their odds of winning the Super Bowl are around +8-0, but with Brown in their arsenal, those odds could drop to +3-500. That's a huge leap, and it positions Pittsburgh as a serious contender for the AFC title. Facing teams like the Chiefs, who are giving up around 8. 1 yards per pass would be a real test, but with Brown and Metcalf stretching the field, the Steelers could create mismatches all over the field. Their playoff odds would see a significant boost, especially in matchups where they can exploit mismatches with their enhanced passing game. The duo of Brown and Metcalf would force defenses to dedicate extra resources, which opens up lanes for the running game and play-action passes. It's a strategic move that could take the Steelers from a solid team to a true AFC powerhouse. In the grand scheme, this potential trade feels reminiscent of some of the most pivotal moves in NFL history, trades that have defined eras and crowned champions. Think of the effect Tyreek Hill had when he was traded to the Dolphins in 2022, boosting their offense by over 300 yards in a single game, or how moves like that reshape a team's entire identity. If the Steelers manage to pull this off, it could be the start of a new dynasty narrative, with Brown serving as the catalyst that propels them back to the Super Bowl stage. Of course, there's always skepticism. The Eagles are in a rebuilding phase, and trading away a player like Brown could be a risk, especially if they don't get immediate returns. But the opportunity to gather draft capital and clear cap space could set them up for a stronger future. As for the Steelers, they're in a spot where making a bold move could pay off big time, especially with a talented quarterback like Rodgers potentially leading the charge. This kind of strategic shift could be the missing piece that elevates them to AFC dominance. So what does all this mean for us as Steelers fans? It's exciting, isn't it? The possibility of adding a player like A.J. Brown is not just about winning a few games. It's about setting the foundation for sustained success. It's about becoming a team that defenses truly fear, a team that can compete with the best in the league and maybe even bring home another Lombardi. The AFC North is already a competitive division, with talented teams like the Ravens and Bengals. But if this trade materializes, the Steelers could leapfrog them all and become the team to beat. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe the Steelers should make this move? Is A.J. Brown the missing link to a Super Bowl run? Or do you think the risk outweighs the reward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters to us and to the Steelers' future. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and breaking news about the Steelers and the NFL. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep riding this roller coaster together. This season has the potential to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. And with some strategic moves, maybe, just maybe, we'll be celebrating another Super Bowl victory in Pittsburgh. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Steelers.